Hey everybody, welcome to the show.
You are in the trenches with Chris and Chris.
As always, we're going to give a shout out to all military personnel.
All branches, all public servants, police, firefighters, first responders.
Thank you for your service. Now, let's get on to some man stuff. You like that? You want that?
Oh yeah, brother.
Oh, brother, I'm gonna take you to the top. Oh, yeah. Once you're at the top, oh yeah, I'm gonna take you, I'm gonna slam you in the ground. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
You can get up. Knock you back down. Oh yeah. You can't hear me?
I'm hearing it and I like
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah, you can't. Oh yeah.
I love
We got a special treat for you today.
Yeah.
Before we hop into that, why don't you let these fine-looking people out there know we're delicious beverages here.
We're drinking some Mickey's Fine malt liquor.
Mickey.
These are empty. There are many more where they came from.
So many more.
Yeah.
They have riddles.
Mm-hmm.
These are the greatest things in the world.
Yeah.
Stop.
They're fun.
Hammer time. Oh! Oh!
You couldn't see under the table, but I'm totally doing the hammer dance right now.
Why was I doing the robot?
I don't know.
I totally went into
cool.
like the...
It worked.
Okay.
You know.
Thank
So,
you.
you wanna try to solve a couple of these?
Oh.
This one's easy.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah. Balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall.
Yeah. Very easy.
Bad. I'm in a musical mood.
Should we sing the rest of the review?
Man stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going to be reviewing a movie. We're going to be drinking fine malt liquor and reviewing the movie Bird Box for you
I drink
guys.
fine malt liquor. I'm on to a different love.
Still good.
Oh, I love Mickey's.
Yeah. Mickey's is awesome.
Mickey. Wrong Mickey. Wrong Mickey.
Nope.
Thanks for tuning in with us. Like you said, today we're going to review the movie Bird Box, which is rated D for dumb. We have, what's interesting is we really have two different takes on this movie, and there's so many different ways it could have gone.
Yeah, there's a ton of, fan theories and just different, different takes on it on the internet. What I think is cool is maybe like you'll have your take. Give the rundown. I'll give my take, and at the end we'll go ahead and review this bad boy.
Let's do it.
I like
it.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, it is the way it should be.
Sometimes I think it should be other ways. Like I give my point of view, and that should be the show.
Well, there's so many of those. There's so many like, hey, I'm a guy, I'm reviewing this movie, and that's the way it is. This time, at least you get a little variety here,
I know. I love it. I love it.
That's nice.
Well, what's interesting is you actually bring up quite a few good points in your notes that really got me thinking, because I was into this movie very simple-minded, and it was like, okay. And I came to some conclusions, which after, a little chit-chatting here and there with you, I kind of got my gears rolling in my head.
I think I liked it more than you, for one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you're it's changing my mind on it.
Okay, that's cool, yeah.
Slowly. But because there's a lot of unanswered questions. Mm-hmm. It's like my life.
It's one of those, you never see, the evil monsters or entities or whatever they are, it's basically, it came out shortly after A Quiet Place. It's kind of like, A Quiet Place 2, basically.
We can't see you.
Yeah, no, where you don't make any sound, and then, pretty much the same concept, except, don't look.
I made my list of issues, and after reading through them, I realized
very hate-filled.
It was so hate-filled, and I felt awful because after reading through it, I realized, you know what? A lot of this is just really picking on actors and acting and their characters. So I had to cross a lot of the material out and went on to talk about I kept some of the character bashing in there, but I went on to talk about like just things in the movie to me personally that didn't make sense. Maybe are obvious to you guys out there. If you know any of these points are wrong or like absolutely, since in my opinion this movie is completely nothing but spectacleism. I don't even know if that word exists, but that's what it is.
If it doesn't, I mean,
it does now.
Gonna make it so. Yeah.
It does now.
Yeah.
So, because there's no definite thing that happens, and it's mostly just a whole lot of stretching, I think, to get from point A to point B to make it make sense. That isn't necessarily always true in every case. However, I found that to be true in the majority of the case in this particular movie.
Well, you'll find in my breakdown that it's gonna fill in all those gaps for you, bro.
I like it.
All of them.
All the gaps?
Every single one.
Oh, gap filling.
Yeah.
Well, I guess without further ado.
Yeah, bust his gaps out, dude. Bust them out.
Here we go.
And then I'll prepare.
Here we go, because I have some gaps I'd like to introduce to you. Starting with my first point of the notes that I took, my first issue with this movie, and this is not in any sequence or order, it's just problems that I had with the movie in general. Kids, after 5 years, really? You never once took your blindfolds off. How many of you guys out there have kids? How many of those kids, when you say no, you cannot have candy, you cannot have that candy bar, you may not do something, and your kids go, just one, and they have the little teardrops.
Yeah. And then you say no.
No.
12 more times.
At least. And then
It's
they
never
go,
ending.
here, you can have it. But if you have it, will you share?
Smooth.
Maybe? I don't know, because remember all the teaching of sharing that you did with me?
I have experienced that tactic, yes.
So, my point is, you're not going to tell a kid, no matter what the consequence is, you do not take that blindfold off. There's no peekaboo, I see you. You do not tell a kid that and expect that kid to literally fall through for 5 years of not peeking.
It is pretty hard to believe. I mean, that the only time they've never seen the outside. The only thing that they've seen were like the inside of houses that they were holed up in.
Especially after hearing Tom's stories.
Yeah.
About what he saw on the big tree.
Yeah, just amazing trees with you know, nests like full of bird eggs and butterflies and all this amazing stuff. I mean, kids want to see that.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
He saw his future family. Which
and they were butterflies.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
He didn't die. He went into a cocoon. That's deep.
This one's for Tom.
Tom. Dude, you kind of were like the man of the movie.
Yes. Thank you, Tom. So, which brings me to my second point, which really, in all honesty, has nothing to do with what we just talked about. Most annoying point in the movie. What the hell is it? What is it?
Obviously, there's a black shadow flying blob.
It's a demonic force from the Netherlands.
I think it's a black nimbus that comes down.
Yes.
And settles in front of you until you go crazy.
Dude, I would not doubt it. But it just drives me crazy, and in my opinion, you start getting into the Blair Witch type movies, which everybody hates, and nobody thinks is great. You know. So it's frustrating to see a movie where you never really get into the meat and potatoes of what is this entity of evil.
Dude, they have all these cool like charcoal drawings of like these Cthulhu looking things and like awesome like weird squid demon like heads and stuff. But yeah, I mean, and
if I'm not mistaken, in some reviews that we watched together, they like those were like ancient Greek mythology, like goddess or gods that made that were known for making people insanity.
Yep.
If you guys know any more information about that, please leave some comments in the box below, because it's something that we would really be interested in learning about or reading up on. Which brings me to my third point. Which, by the way, I'm not going to keep keeping track of what point I'm on. A and B.
I will.
There's no segue into my next point. I just like to say it brings me to my next point. So where there's no bridge, we just cast a line and jump. Let's do it. Guy watches wife burn. Malkovich watches his wife burn. Not in disbelief.
That was weird.
Not in stress. He just was like, oh, you just saved a check and my wife's burning in a car. Oh, she's walking towards that burning car.
Yeah.
Look at the pretty embers. Look at it.
He's like in shock. I mean, he seems mildly annoyed once everyone's in the house that his wife has just died.
And he loved the wife. It wasn't a bad relationship because he goes on to say, this is my third marriage. This is the best marriage I've ever been in with. She was so nice. She was great. But yet, there's no emotion, no nothing. I don't know a single real man out there that would literally let their wife, or ex-wife, okay, let's not go that far, but would let their wife walk into a burning car and sit down and not try and save her after she just got done showing a brave act of heroism.
It's frozen with fear. Just in shock. I don't know. Yeah, there's not really a good explanation
fear
for that one.
No fear, drink beer. That's what I say.
Drink beer.
Yes.
I love it.
It's not original with me. It's a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt.
Oh, nice.
It actually says F fear, drink beer.
Nice.
What brings me to my fourth point, and this is this. You have the main character that tells her story to Tom. The heroic black gentleman.
Super badass.
Who died.
Sacrifices himself, basically.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
We cheers to Tom already.
Yeah.
Tom, you got 2 shout-outs. What a dick. All right.
He's kind of the man, though. Yeah.
He's totally the man. So here's the problem. She starts opening up to him, she being Sandra Bullock, about her past life and things that led up to this moment, all the way up to being saved by, how do you say her name? Lydia. And so once she says this, here's Malkovich again. This is way later on in the show. And all of a sudden, here's the emotion. There it is.
Yeah.
I see it. I see you emotion, finally.
It's like, no, I'm feeling it.
No.
I'm feeling everything.
That hit home in the heart.
It just took a month. Or however long.
This evil entity is physical.
Sort of. It doesn't really... It can't really go through walls, can't go through doors. If you put newspaper on the inside of your windows, it's not getting through that newspaper or the window.
Here's my argument, though. It physically chased them and moved branches out of the way. It moved objects out of the way.
It seemed to. Yeah.
All right, you win that one. I'm scratching it off. All right? So here's the next one. And this is where I kind of get into a little bit of 0.5. Was that right? Was that what you did? 5. That's 5 points. So here we go. Of course, you got some prego chick who's a BA sitting there going, and some dude's like, how'd you learn that trick? Grew up on a farm. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And she just answers with the most hardcore move ever. Unloaded. Catch me, boy.
Dude, maybe she just watched like a YouTube video the week before. Like, how to just unload your shotgun.
Because that's what people are about to pop babies out watch. How to unload your shotgun. If guys
that was pretty BA, though. Yeah. That's all I would look at.
So, I mean, this far, it just seems to me like here we go into like a little bit of a segue into what I feel like are some political points that the movie tries to make, or that the movie really does just try and push their agenda
really,
on you.
Keep politics out of my entertainment, please.
Agreed.
Sports, movies, that's where people go to get away from politics, right?
A fine man that you are.
Right? It's...
Oh yeah, that's good. What's a prime example is, okay, here you have a couple, one's dead, but a couple of gay Asians, you have 4 chicks, I think 2 or not white, a couple white guys, a couple black guys.
It's the diversity poster with the rainbow over the top. And
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we have all of everybody's represented here.
Okay, aggravating. I don't need that pushed in my face.
There's nothing wrong with,
absolutely nothing wrong with
everybody.
But there's differences of opinion. Like, maybe in all scenarios, diversity isn't necessarily always a great thing.
There's a little bit too much PC cookie cutter. Like, here's everybody represented here.
Well, that's how I felt. Because, and then later on you see a prime example of this when he, okay, here we go. This one's real original. You ready? I got an idea. Come here. I'd like to make a toast. Let's make the end of the world great again.
Yeah. So says, the piece of crap of the movie.
Real original, Malkovich. Nobody's ever done a Trump joke.
No one.
Blown away. Originality, A+. Let me just scratch this F off. So,
real, dude. Let's make anything great again is so easy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And that's kind of how I saw that and I said, okay, here we go. More political stuff coming my way, which I don't need in my entertainment stuff.
Is this 5 still or 6?
I'm on 7. Where have you been? Yes,
I guess.
You messed it up. Here we go. So, another point that I make, I keep having to look down here at my notes, I made some notes down here, is, okay, you got no internet, you got no messages, but fear not, because GPS still miraculously works.
The car, yeah.
The car to the supermarket.
I wasn't sure, I didn't know if that was just like a sensor, like a proximity sensor, but then you were saying they still have the map.
They have the map on there. In the car, so, it shows the way to the supermarket. Yeah. How else are you going to find it? They blacked out the windows. So, I mean, again, then you get on to other things, minor things. Here's where I do a little bit of character assassination about Charlie, another black guy, the guy with glasses who describes the end of the world apocalypse type deal.
By the way,
they get attacked.
In my view, he just nails it. It's out of the park right there.
You're talking about his view on everything that's happening?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take.
Well, he's like a theologist, not just a Christian theologist, or and he kind of goes across all.
I can actually see that. I can see that. See, now that is good. Here's where he's kind of an idiot. Where he goes, they're getting attacked the whole way to the supermarket, and they get to the supermarket. What does he want to do? He wants to run. He wants to go outside and run.
I can make it.
Yes. After all this, I think I can make it. And who knew? During the last part of the movie...
Thought you were smart, Charlie. This
is a little bit of a bonus right here, but during the last part of the movie, when they're almost to the house, the school of blind, this entity's attacking her and her kids, and she says, Stop attacking my kids! Stop! And it kind of backs off. Yeah. Who would have known if you just said stop in the first place? It just would have went away. Like, oh no, wait, stop! Oh, sorry. Guess we'll go back to hell and wait another 1,000 years for the time of Jacob's trouble. Revelations. I mean, that to me was kind of weird. Then you have just here's one. Defend this. It discriminates against blind people. It does not like you if you're blind. Are you blind? You're not liked by this monster.
Yeah, I mean, which is a good thing. If you're blind, I mean, I would not want those monsters dialed in on me.
No, nobody would. But at the end of the movie, she makes it in there. She can still see, but the monster can't come in?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I said, you said
I'm gonna attempt to fill in like some of these gaps with my...
I like it.
My theory.
My last point, if I may, and final point that has led me here with you beautiful people, is this right here. I like it though. Okay. I like the way you put your fingers up there.
That was not...
Moving
on. Yep.
My last point is going to be, after 5 years, you don't realize that guns don't kill this evil, mysterious entity? You still pack around a pistol on the river like you're going to blow away the spiritual demonic force.
Yeah, so further crazy is that.
Is it? How do you know? How can you decipher if it's crazy or a demon? Because here's the deal. You're blindfolded. You're like John Cena. Can't see me. You cannot see me because you're blindfolded.
Yeah, all the blind people are kind of like John Cena.
I kind of went over a little bit my time, but I just want, I got it all out there.
That's cool.
I got it all out there. And I expect every one of those 9 points I'm assuming it's 9 because of so many fingers you held up.
Yeah.
I expect them all to be answered.
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, we did watch a few videos about fan theories and other stuff. And the one, I mean, like right off the bat, dude. I mean, 10 minutes into the movie, I was like, this is like end times, like Revelations. And that's really what I'm going with. And I mean, I can connect a lot of dots like throughout the movie.
Right.
Like this way, just a lot of major themes. The main one being just like faith, like the blindfold thing. The people that see these demons, they go crazy and kill themselves. Or you can, blindfold yourself and find different ways, like not to look at them. Okay. I think like an allegory kind of would be just like blind faith, and I'll circle back around to that like when they get to the river again. But I do think it has like a lot of religious aspects. Just kind of like loose like tropes pulling from like Revelations and different parts of the Bible. Right, the thing with the birds. And I really think like blind faith. I think these things are demons that have come to Earth, and they're basically like anybody good that sees them. Obviously, like you just turn suicidal, just maniac. You're crawling into fire, crashing your car, whatever. Yeah. And the crazy people, which I think it might not even be all crazy people. I think it's like just like sociopaths, just like kind of disconnected, like
mentally ill people.
And if you go with like the biblical kind of theme, you say these are the people that are open to Satan or open to evil, whatever. And right. So evil, the demons can kind of not possess them but use them, like just kind of like vessels to basically go out and get the other people that are holed up in houses or wherever they're at, and they can infiltrate and make them see the not the light, the darkness, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. And so a couple more things. I mean, when they're in the car with the proximity sensor, if you think of it as sort of like a holy vessel, and God is kind of like warning the faithful when they're getting close to danger, the proximity sensor, that one's kind of shaky. But you could tie it in if that is.
A stretch, a little bit of a stretch, but I can see how you'd make that.
Well, you can't see anything. The windows are all papered over and everything. And so you can see maybe it's like a divine hand guiding you to the store. Because how do they make it to that store, dude? Seriously.
I was thinking
how does that happen?
You're gonna do more than run over a couple dead bodies in the street.
No, it's gonna be
hit the curb. You're gonna hit another car.
Show. It's awful.
Traffic's
like
everywhere.
Everybody dies.
Yes, traffic's everywhere.
And so I kind of had that thought. And then the main one was just like blind faith. Like especially like throughout the whole movie, it's just trusting to God or whatever. Like you're blindfolded, you can't see anything, so there's trust there. I mean, your main sense is just like gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna go to when they're on the river. The guy they're talking to, Rick, on the radio, he told him, he's like, somebody has to look, when you get to the rapids, or you're just effed, basically. And so they're trying to decide who's going to look, and they decide that nobody's going to look. I would say, dude, like, if any one of the three of those people actually looks, like, they all die.
Oh, agreed, dude. 100% agreed. And if there's an argument to be made, I think you, by far, my friend, are on the correct path. So again, just for the record, if you're gonna make an argument, the religious theme that you're going with is, I think it's the way to go. To be honest, I'm again not a giant fan of the movie, but just in what you're saying,
if you go
this
back,
seems like it would be I see little bits of areas that you have to make a stretch in, but. I could see it slowly come together off the logic that you're bringing to the
It's
table.
pretty loose, but they kind of lay it out early on. That Charlie guy, he's like, I don't know if he's like a theologist or whatever, but he's writing the book. It's that guy, and he cross-references a bunch of different religions and stuff, but they're all kind of the same. And I think that's, they kind of gave it to you right there, basically. But just getting back to like the river, dude. Like any one of them looks, I think they're all left. Instead, they just have, she's like, nobody's gonna look. They have faith and they make it.
Yeah.
So comes back to blind faith again. Instead of looking with their eyes, they have faith and they make it.
It's like being guided by the Lord's hand.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes, okay, I get it. Blind faith, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I have several gaps left.
Okay. Such as?
Such as, I mean, who would watch the end time apocalypse unfold before their eyes and watch their wife burn? So just several points that I made.
Well, I mean,
kids would
he
eventually
doesn't make it. I mean, the only people that really make it are Mallory and,
It's
and
her.
the kids.
The girl, and the boy. Boy.
John Malkovich, he was a dick, dude. He didn't have any faith.
By the way, points for originality in the names. Girl, boy.
Yeah, I get it, and like another thing, dude. I mean, maybe she was like an imperfect vessel. God always wants to use imperfect vessels. She was the stone cold bitch that those kids needed to make it through and make it to the school in the end of the movie, and maybe they go on, and one of them is John Connor from T2, and that's how he makes it through the movie and destroys all the robots. But okay, way off track.
No, but I get the point.
But
we're sailing across seas.
Maybe the important thing is the kids, and they just needed a stone cold bitch that would just call them boy and girl and not give them any love, and that's how they make it through.
Ultimately, though, one of the points that I did not bring up is, I don't think I brought up, was though that there's a time when they have to look during the river. Mm-hmm. One of them has to look. And I think this is a great testament to your part. Because one of them has to look, and she gets under the covers. They're under covers, which somehow, miraculously, the evil entity cannot go under covers. And she goes, one of us is going to have to look. The boy does what every man in my book would do and says, I'll look. And she says, no. Why? Because that's her son. And I get the moral dilemma. Oh, look, I'm I am morally at a stopping point, because here I am. And my son wants to do this thing that's right, but it's my son, so stop. And she lets that little girl soak in fear for a good couple minutes. The little girl's life is just petrified.
She knows she's the one.
Yes, because
that's like, damn, she just looked at me. I'm going to have to look. I'm dead.
The boy says to her later on, look, you're really hard on her, basically. I'm paraphrasing.
She's afraid of you. Yeah.
She hates your guts. I don't know if she says that. But he says she's afraid of you, definitely.
Yeah. And yeah, there's some other stuff when they're in the woods, like at that point in the movie, you keep hearing like the demons or whatever they are says, "Come and see, come and see." That's right out of Revelations. Like as the four horsemen are coming like onto our plane of existence or whatever, with every horseman, you hear the beast say, "Come and see, come and see."
Right. And
then there's also the birds. The birds have been linked a few times in the Bible to just kind of being good. I guess I don't really know why, but in Revelations I have it written down. Revelations 19:17 it says there's an angel on the sun, and he calls out to the birds, and he says, "Rise up, all birds, and welcome to the supper." I don't know if that's like a reference to birds being like some birds being like carrion animals or whatever, but there's other instances like in the Bible.
Absolutely, in Daniel, there's prophecy of the prophecy of the fowls, the birds dropping down out of the sky.
That was one of the other,
All sorts of. So, like I said, man, like this is a really good route to go down if you're going to explain this movie.
There's the one that
I haven't found one that has stood up to the test of. I had to cross out a lot of my deals.
The test of all of your smack talking about the movie.
Yes. But no, this is like. I feel like there is possibly a way to describe that what this lady went through was what this whole movie is typically about is. You could say, and the reason I say you could say that this movie is about the end of the world, like a biblical themed. I think that has the most evidence for it. If you look at other reviews, if you look at things like that, you're going to see that a lot of people have so many different views. This one I think stands against the test of time. I think that this one of all.
They say it's like they say it's a couple that we saw where like it's depression or mental health, or the basic theme of the movie is just like how hard like parenting is and stuff. I mean they kind of fit, but just not as well.
Some could say raising kids. Sandra Bullock could do it blindfolded. Not a big deal.
Yeah. Yep. I guess Sandra Bullock's like the super mom, dude. Oh, that was pretty good. I like that.
Thank you. I had to put some sort of a pun in there. Like, some could say.
Yeah.
It could be,
steely eyes.
Oh, nice. Just noticed myself. Sorry.
Yeah, you were smoldering for a second, dude. I can.
The only way this movie could be better is if you bring Sean Connery in it.
Dude, that makes any movie better. So,
right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go down the rivers. The rivers of face, and where you go see the blinds. The people without the eyes. Sean Connery.
Dude, Sean Connery would have been such a badass in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dude, yeah. He doesn't need his eyes anyway.
He super loves snakes.
Yeah, he'd have probably been like one of the people in the deleted ending of the movie. He just carved his eyes out.
Here's
like
a twist.
for being in the movie, Sean Connery just thumbs out his eyeballs.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
He sees one of them. Gets rid of his lisp. Nice. Can you imagine Sean Connery without his shape-shifting abilities?
I'd just be dying through the rest of the movie if he didn't sound right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it'd be awful.
He turned into this. I'm Sean Connery.
Hello, I'm Sean Connery.
Nice.
Nicely
done.
Thank you. You're still kind of lisping a little bit.
No, there's a little bit of a...
He was scared.
Sean Connery here. How's it going, kids? Yeah, no, I think that's a great plot twist.
Yeah.
I think you made an excellent point, by the way. I don't want to downplay your point. I think you made a very excellent point.
That's the best I can make of it, and it kind of just stuck out.
So let's do this, man.
Yeah. You want to review?
Let's review it. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Would you recommend this movie? And if so, what if you were to judge it 1 out of 5? 5 being the very best, 1 being the worst movie you've ever seen, or at least on par with the worst movies that you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Would you recommend it, and what would the number that you rate it be?
Okay. 1 to 5. I'm gonna kind of do the star system that people have. I'm gonna say like 3.5.
Oh.
Because I think it's pretty good. A Quiet Place is probably 4 out of 5, and this one was not quite as good as A Quiet Place.
Oh, excellent.
It was good. I mean, I thought it was like engaging, had good, cast and characters. I mean, story's pretty cool. Yeah, you don't get to see like the demons. A lot of it's kind of just out there for your interpretation, but
right.
Yeah, I say 3 out of 5 or 3.5 out of 5.
Oh, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And you would recommend it?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, would you classify it as a horror movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like end times horror movie.
It's like an apocalypse. Okay, an apocalypse type.
Yeah.
Post-apocalyptic world type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or
so if it had Sean Connery, I'd probably say solid like 4 out of 5.
Solid 5. Sorry, it's a solid 5.
Nice. I'll take the rapist for $200.
Good lord, awesome. I would not recommend this movie.
You did. You were sour on it, and I thought it was a little bit better.
I would not recommend it. I feel like there's so many unanswered questions in this movie. Some of the problems with this movie that I engaged, like, I just can't get in. I'm not one of the people that go into a movie that like to go, I saw you staring at yourself, you sexy beast. Not one of the people that like to downplay movies. Not one of the people that like to blow things out of proportion or, get technical when I'm just trying to watch some good old entertainment or something like that. But this movie indeed just gets under my skin with the political puns, with I think what I interpret to be the feminist type agenda with the diversity. It feels like they're coming at you with an agenda. They're trying to hit you with some stuff, and after
It's
all
hard to get away from that with a lot of movies.
it is. I mean, but be original, stick out. Be original. Like, look, my thing is, and by the way, we heard this one theory where the School of the Blind people forced themselves to go blind. Which I think would have been a darker plot twist and maybe drew my interest a bit more.
That was like the original or like alternate ending.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I think that would have definitely drawn my attention a lot more.
That was pretty cool.
Star System. I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie a 1.9, 1.8.
Oh, it went down.
You couldn't reach it, could ya?
Yeah.
I'm gonna deduct 0.01% just for being the Bird Box.
Yeah.
So
I understand that point. There's a lot open to interpretation, and it's frustrating. I thought it was good enough. I mean, it was pretty cool. Had some pretty sick, like, charcoal pictures of demons and stuff, and cool, crazy people, and
it had some cool, crazy people. That's about all it had that was cool.
yeah.
In the opinion of oneself.
Dude, you notice the guy, the first crazy guy that led into the house?
Yeah.
Dude, he was all about those babies. As soon as he saw like a pure, like, innocent baby, he was like, man, I want to suck all the life force out of that thing. Right?
It was. I think maybe babies have like a pure innocent type thing, like we were saying before the show.
That kind of ties into like that, Satanism or like a biblical thing. I mean, if they're demons, they're gonna want those pure babies.
Yeah. At least they're corrupt or
they're gonna suck all the pureness out of those babies.
Dude, real tough.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, we actually love doing this movie review, so you guys won't have to. Why don't you guys go ahead and do us a favor and leave a movie that you'd like to see reviewed in the comments, and we can take your advice on it. This was my choice.
Doesn't have to be a new movie.
Doesn't have to be a new movie.
We'll do old movies as long as they're awesome. I mean, if it's a movie I've seen before and it's not great,
We're not
doing that. No.
We're not doing that. We're putting our foot down somewhere. This was a new movie that wasn't, semi old, that wasn't great.
Mixed reviews.
So here's the deal. This was our movie review. I gotta choose this one. This guy is gonna go ahead and give us some ideas for the next one. So next time you see us, we'll be doing another
We'll
movie.
pick some probably new movies.
Get on the newer board. But we'd also like to hear from you guys. You are here in the trenches with us.
Yeah.
So.
And if you liked this movie review, go ahead and subscribe. Review. Give us 5 stars.
1 million stars.
Yes.
Stars per day.
Yeah, not 1.9.
It's raining stars.
5. Hallelujah.
It's raining stars. So yeah, go ahead and give us, comment, hit the bell for notifications. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Like this beautiful Chris just said, with a wonderful name, by the way. You can't really beat a name
Probably
like Chris.
the best name there is, I think.
I don't think you beat a name like Chris. It's a strong name. Thanks for tuning in to In the Trenches. And thanks for being in the trenches with us. We'll see you on the flip side, brother. We'll put out another video next week.
Let's hear it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to stop the video. Yeah.